In part five, we get an interaction with the Tonus again. Marie and Anastasia are heading to the yearly meeting and they meet Tonus again. I have a musical background, so the Tonus humming and just humming to the fork, it would be so much fun. One of the reasons why I would like to become a Tonus. Another reason why I wouldn't mind being a Tonus. I would love to sit there and hum to the tune of the fork. So they meet these Tonus, the Dorian. Tonus always travel in groups. They talk about how the Tonus are always searching architectural ruins, searching for the so-called Grey Fork. There's a part in book one where they also meet some Tonus looking for the Grey Fork. Hilarious. I love the Tonus. And they hum to the tune of the fork. I wouldn't mind humming, sitting down, and humming to the tone of the fork. I think that would be pretty much a good time. That's why I'm a softie with the Tonus, and I would become most likely a Tonus in this fictional world. Scythe Curry is not happy about their presence, and Citra makes a point of that anybody can be persuaded into kissing the Scythe ring for immunity. Everybody is scared of death, and she just proves it. And she proves it when it comes to the Tonus, who are supposedly not influenced by the outside life. And it's so funny when the leader is telling them to hum, and they and they start humming like little bees to tune out the influence of the outside world. It's hilarious and I love it. I love when the Tonys get involved in book one and two. For now, they are looked as a funny, kooky kind of group of people. We move on and they enter the conclave, and this is where it gets very interesting in the book. It's all political. Execrates has been promoted, and now there's going to be a spot available for High Blade of Mid America. It's a very, very high end position, and Marie, of course, is a good choice for this. Even though I don't like Scythe Marie, she has a lot of inner conflict of being the grand dame of death. She really has regrets of gleaning the politicians because that was the domino effect that needed to happen in order for the Scythedom and the Thunderhead to finally take over the world in a sense. And she feels very responsible for that because she now knows that the Scythedom has way too much power. They have lost their way. Even though it was going to happen, the Scythedom was going to win in this power structure. It was her doing. And I like how she feels regret for this. If you read the short stories, there's a story in there of her perspective of doing this, and I have to agree with her when it comes to feeling regret. It makes her more human, like, and it makes her feel much more responsible for something. I think she is a grumpy old lady throughout book one and two, and she is a very superior person. Like, she is a superior Scythe compared to the other Scythe. Like, she made her point as a young Scythe, and she doesn't want the High Blade position. She's been trying to avoid this influential position amongst the Scythe, and the time has come for her to step up and take this position that was always kind of meant to be hers. Or Scythe Faraday. I prefer Scythe Faraday, and I think Marie would have preferred Scythe Faraday as well. But because she is the only one left with having a high moral and being an honorable Scythe, she is now put in this position of being a High Blade. And the position would have been hers, but of course things don't go according to plan because that's when Scythe Godard comes in. I like this political part in this story. It brings out characters and it brings out especially brings out Citra. Now Scythe Anastasia. This is why I think Citra would have become the much better Scythe over Scythe Rowan. Rowan is so kind. He is honorable. He has integrity. He understands human behavior. Like, he understands the human side. He understands like humanity. Like, he has a fondness. Like, he's just very kind person. And for him to be a scythe, I think he would have been an excellent scythe. But because he was trained by Godar, I think he was corrupted very much so. No one can save him from Godar. No one saved him from Godar. Rowan would have been a good scythe. He would have been, I think, as he would have been thought of as being a scythe like Scythe Faraday, honorable and stoic and following the true intentions of a scythe. But Citra was the correct choice because she is the one who would make a difference in the Scythedom. She not only has the poise about her, but she's capable of thinking on the spot and using her resources. In this moment here in this section of the conclave, she proves why she was chosen as the scythe and why she is the better side. Really applaud Citra or Anastasia in this moment. She comes up with the plan of holding the voting system, and she uses people around her to help her like refine and tune up this plan of hers in a quick matter of minutes, and it works thankfully. Another thing about Citra is that she is smart. Like you have to have a lot of study to become a scythe. Faraday did such a good job. Again, he's such an excellent teacher because Citra was able to keep her composure and cite the reference of how this vote could be on pause. This whole section is like wonderful, and it just shows what a great scythe Citra is, or scythe Anastasia is becoming, and how proud. This was a really proud moment. Even when I was reading it, I was like really proud of her. I was really proud of her. I was like, yes, go Citra. Very powerful moment for her. Godar, of course, is very angry about this stopped in the voting system and takes it out on Rowan. And when we move forward, now they're going to take this conflict up to the Grand Slayers. So there's a pause and everything now. We move on to meeting Faraday and Munera. I do not like Munera. She's so bitter against Citra, and it's very off putting. It's not Citra's fault that she's this brilliant young lady, and that you have to be chosen. This is why not everyone becomes a scythe. You have to have something special about you to be able to take this position. And Citra, being beautiful and intelligent and having now some sort of status under her and having great teachers, she's sort of this envy of Munera. It's like hating on someone for being who they are. And Citra, of course, does not back down from this this stink eye, because she also very much still is a little petty when it comes to Faraday's attention. And I like how the Thunderhead explains it's like trying to gain the affection of a father figure, and it's like spot on exactly. Again, I don't like Munera. It's annoying to see her get close to Faraday. It feels like I've been chosen to be teacher's pet kind of thing, and I don't like it. Scythe Curry goes on to explain what happened at Conclave. Faraday declines Curry's offer to go with them to fight this vote. There's a very short moment where Marie touches Faraday's arm, and this causes Faraday's pulse to increase just slightly. It's this such a nice subtle way that they're still very fond of each other, and if things weren't complicated, if the outside matters weren't as complicated, they would be an amazing power couple. But the best is that they would have like a really great retirement time together. It's a very strong short moment. And this is all in the Thunderhead's perspective. He is seeing this through his many cameras. And we also get a section where Grayson, he is at this monastery. A scythe comes and visit Grayson at the monastery because Citra asks his scythe to take him to a better location out in another country. Well, he'll be safe. Grayson declines this offer, and he is very in a dark place right now. This whole part where this is happening through the Thunderhead's cameras, it's so like Grayson is in this very depressed state where he is questioning everything that he's done from the beginning of the story. He thought that the Thunderhead was pointing him in this direction. Grayson took that and ran with it. No one told him to become a secret agent. No one told him to get involved with unsavory activities. This is all Grayson's doing. The Thunderhead raised Grayson, and Grayson was trying to do the best he can because he thought this was what the Thunderhead wanted. Grayson now is questioning why the Thunderhead took him in this direction, why he has abandoned him. And if you've ever been in the darkest part in your life and you're just like asking for a sign that things are gonna get better, this is what Grayson does. The Thunderhead is his god, and he asks for some sort of sign. He is in despair, and the Thunderhead did not mean for this to happen to him. In reality, it was Grayson who took this idea and ran with it. This was the purpose he gave himself. No one gave him this purpose. These are the consequences of my own actions. It's pretty plain to see that when it comes to Grayson. Like, Grayson, you ran with this idea, and it was you who decided to do all of this. No one told you to do this. But Grayson doesn't know that. He thinks that this higher power is guiding him to do this. And the Thunderhead is like, no, I never meant for this to happen. I never meant to hurt you like this. And Grayson is in tears, asking for a sign, and the Thunderhead gives it to him. He gives it to Grayson. He gives it to him. Nobody else, but only to him. And he does more than give him a sign. He gives him like this, the whole city. The whole city is affected by this sign. That's how much the Thunderhead loves Grayson. But Grayson can't see it because it's like one of my favorite quotes. He does not see it. He does not see because his eyes are shut too tightly to know anything beyond his own anguish. Things may be going bad, but just remember. And if you're asking for a sign, look for that sign. It's one of my absolutely favorite quotes of this whole book. I'm always going to remember this quote. It's a quote that I'm going to take with me for life.